Nigeria's PMS daily domestic consumption drops to 33.58% from 66.7 million liters per day recorded before deregulation. This is according to the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority. Nigeria heavily relies on imports to meet its petroleum needs, and with limited access to forex, the ability to purchase and import in no field seems to be a major challenge. But what are some of the contributing factors to this decline amid pricing, and what does this mean for the country? To discuss this, I'm being joined live in the studio is the chairman of the Southwestern Zone of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, Mr. Dele Tajudeen. Thank you so much. Good afternoon. It's good to have you in the studio.
Good afternoon, Tolu.
It's good to have you here live.
Nice having me.
Yes, I want to start with a lot of issues around deregulation after we actually opened up this market. But you are the players in the market. I always like to start with the reality on ground. What's been happening? These days we are seeing 615, 620, 6 everywhere. What really is the true situation of things with regards to the depot end and at your end?
Well, good afternoon, viewers. Good afternoon, Nigerians. Well, that is the implication of deregulation. That is, you will have various prices across the country, depending on how much you are able to source your products and with your home profit margin on it. So what is happening right now is that we are not getting the same prices from our depot.
That's what is happening.
That is what is happening. As of today, if you go to, yes, NNPC price is quite different from other prices, but we are not getting the product from NNPC. So the alternative depots that we have, as of today, the prices ranges between 605 to 615, depending on which depot you are buying. And by the time you add your transportation, the operational costs and the rest, the landing cost will be around 620 at your various fillings, and depending on where you are going. If you are going, if you are dropping your product in Lagos, it will be different from somebody dropping in Ibadan, in Ilorin, Maiduguri, Abuja, as the case may be. So that is the effect of deregulation. Because what government is doing before to balance up the difference is no more there.
That is what that means. But for players like you in the industry, how has this affected business?
Quite honestly, the effect of the removal of subsidy on Nigerians and IPMAN as a whole.
Yes.
I must tell you, and I must say with all sense of responsibility, that it is not palatable at all. This is not what we expect. Because in the normal situation where a product is deregulated, we expected stiff competition, where you have different, so many players. But as of today, I think NNPC is still the
sole importer.
So because of that, there is still that monopoly there. We expect efficiency when there's deregulation. That is, people will be, each individual company, even NNPC itself, will expect efficiency and the rest. But because the situation has not allowed people to be efficient, so what we expect from the regulation is not where we are seeing. And the major effect on IPMAN members, number one, you have to get more capitals. For example, before the advent of deregulation, we were buying a 45,000 liters of PMS at about 7-point-something million. Today, we buy at about 26, 27 million naira, as the case may, depending on...
that is almost 4 times.
Almost 4 times. So, and it is not easy to access loan from bank. Even when you access loan from bank, the interest rate is on the high side. So the implication now is that instead of one person taking 45,000 liters to his or her filling station, we co-load. That is, you bring money for 15,000 liters, I bring money for 15, another person. So we now co-load. That is the first effect. The second effect is that our operational cost has gone up because you have your staff that you actually know that is our transportation to your various offices and filling station is on the high side. You have to increase the salary of your staff. As of today, the cost of diesel that is buying from Papa is 1,250 per liter. That is hard. So by the time you had your cost and the rest, and you know that the electricity is nowhere to go. We don't have electricity, so you have to power your generator with diesel or petrol. All of these are cost that we are experiencing now. All government agencies, including the state and federal, they have all gone up on their fees. And unfortunately, they don't even recognize us. That is, they don't even communicate with us before increasing this price, their levies. I want to categorically state that of NMDPRA, who is the regulator. Currently, they have increased their levies astronomically, which is unacceptable to IPMAN member. For example, the license to establish a filling station, which was 31,000 before, has been moved to 100,000 naira. The application or the license to construct was 50,500 before. It has been moved to 200,000 naira.
That's more than 300%.
Yes, and the license to operate, which was 15,000 before, has been moved to 50,000 naira, and so on and so forth. For crying out loud, IPMAN is a major stakeholder in the industry. Major stakeholder. When I say major stakeholder, we have the retail outlets that is almost 70%.
Yes.
So, if such a thing should happen in a very serious relationship, there's need for dialogue and there's need to communicate. Nobody communicated with us before they increased it. Even those who had paid for this thing through remitter that is on process were returned that they have to pay the unit. So I want to appeal to the management of NMDPRA. We are law-abiding citizens. We love this country, and we don't want to join issue. So I want to appeal to them that as quickly as possible, they should organize a dialogue with us. This is not realistic. We can't pay such amount of money because we can't give what we don't have. I must say that our members are dying. Many people have sold their filling station. Many people have leased out their filling station because they don't have the capital. They don't even have, and as if that is not enough, the purchasing power is very low. People don't have money to buy products. Like if you are selling like 10,000 liters before, I can bet you that hardly you'll be able to sell 3,000 now. So where do they want that money to come from? Federal inland revenue has increased. You see, you can imagine when you were doing 7 million before and it's now 26 million. And they want to
tax you on that same
They
amount.
want to tax you on the same amount.
I'm thinking
without correspondence increase in our profit margin. As I talk to you, our profit margin has reduced. It has not increased. So I think there is need for all these agencies to sit down with us because there's going to be default. Because, like I said, you can't give what you don't have.
Yes, I'm thinking that some people, allow me to interject you, that some people seem to be taking advantage of this opening up or liberalization of the downstream of the petroleum sector?
Oh, you know us in Nigeria. People always take advantage of every situation, but I think government has a role to play because in as much as the products is regulated, we still have the agency, the NMDPRA, that has a control over these regulatory agencies. Regulatory agency. Most of these, how do I call them? I don't want to call them cartel, but I call them capitalists. They are taking advantage of the situation, selling at whatever price. You wake up this morning, they tell you diesel is 1,000 naira. Before the close of the day, they have moved it to 1,100. By next day, it's 1,150. By next day, it's 1,250. Today, the price at the depot is 1,250. Nobody knows what tomorrow means. How do you reconcile this? As much as PMS, too. So it's a problem a lot of people are taking advantage of, but government has a responsibility to control these people. And unfortunately, my advice to government on how to do this is that we have 21 government depots in Nigeria. None of these depots is functioning. We have 4 refineries in Nigeria, 2 in Port Harcourt, 1 in Kaduna, and 1 in Warri. If these refineries are working, that is government refinery.
Yes, because I was talking about refining too. That was coming to my mind because I think that's a major challenge for us.
So if these refineries are working and all these depots are working, of course, the importation will almost be part of it. And there's going to be, and that's where we talk about efficiency on the part of government. You can't leave your depot built with taxpayer money and you leave them on unproductive. So I'm of the opinion that I want to appeal to the President and Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, to please critically look into issue of petroleum, because whatever affects, especially petrol,
yes,
it affects all facets of business, everybody in this country. So it is very critical, and it is important for the government to look into this issue of petroleum.
Let's move forward now. You've touched on refining. At the time, I thought IPMAN was also wanting to deal with government with regards to gas and all of this. Any updates with that?
Yes, I still want to come to the alternatives.
Good.
Government is talking about CNG, that is compressed natural gas, but it is not as easy as they have been saying it. One, you can use an existing filling station to sell CNG, but the problems there are, one, if you have submitted your drawing to the physical planning, once you want to make is a little change, you have to apply.
Again, yeah.
Again.
That's true.
But the agency, the way and manner they treat such a thing is not as fast as people think. Again, where we collected our license, that is from NMDPRA, you also have to apply to them. So these are the process. And also, government has to do some intervention in terms of giving money to people. Because honestly, like I said, our capital is not enough now. So how do you get money? So the intervention that the government has done for some other people should be extended to IPMAN. I mean, somebody who put up a filling station cannot run away. So we need intervention from government in terms of, and at a very less than 10, 2-digit loans, so that we can key into this CNG. But I must tell you, it is not as easy as they say. So we have the Bank of Industry and the rest that they should. Governments should intervene as they have intervened to the state governments by giving them money. I can say that about 2 billion naira has been given to
state governments.
Yes. And this thing is not going hand. I must say this. I also want to advise government that, you see, giving 2 billion or whatever billion to state government, if a controlled APC state is being given 2 billion, I can assure you that the PDP member in that state will not have access to that money. So the only
supposed to be for palliatives.
but realistically, the money is not going around. And I challenge any state government that can come out boldly and say that, yes, the 2 billion given to us has gone around. It's not going around. So since the product is deregulated, I think government also have a role to play.
Yeah.
They can intervene. The intervention can be on petrol. If they intervene on petrol today, that is, because we have seen the suffering that people are going through. Instead of giving money to state government, let us intervene. It's not removal of subsidy. It's just an intervention, maybe for 1, 2, 3 months before situation becomes normal. Maybe because refinery starts working, before the depot starts working, and you come down to like 400 naira per litre. I can assure you that people will clap for government. But giving money to people, to state government, I can assure you, it won't see the light of the day. That is the truth.
What more do you want Nigerians to know at this time about the downstream as we wrap up this conversation? What more do you want them to know?
Well, the regulation has come to stay.
True.
It's legislated, it's in PIE, we cannot run away from it. But I want to appeal to all the critical stakeholders in the industry, because this is the time for us to synergize. This is the time for us to come together. But the buck stops on the table of government, because they are the policy maker, they are the one that has the knife and the yam. So government should please look at the suffering of the masses, because the effect of this subsidy, I must tell you, is affecting a lot of people. So, and government is making much money now. So the money should be deployed to critical infrastructures for people like education, like health, and other infrastructures. Issue of electricity should be tackled, because if electricity is tackled, it will help so many industries. So, of course, I want to talk about the rail. For example, if there is no product in Maiduguri and you have a rail that is going to take, instead of trucking it, I think it will be faster, it will be cheaper for people. Those are the areas that we want to employ government to look at. And I want to beg the state governments, because we now have different type of agencies coming to our filling station asking for this, asking for that. It is only NMDPRA that we know. And we are appealing to NMDPRA to please come out with categorical statement to curb the excessiveness of all these agencies from, because we have a situation whereby police will come to your filling station and say, you want to measure your tank, the civil defense will come, the weight and measure will come. You have all sorts of agencies that comes to our filling station, despite the fact we have a meager profit on our filling stations. So we appeal to government, because if we go into extinction, a lot of people will be out of job. True. A lot of people will, because IPMAN is a major employer of labor in this country. Take it or leave it. So we must be protected, so that we will not have issue with labor market again.
I must thank you so much, Mr. Dele Tajudeen is the Southwest Zonal Chairman of IPMAN, and happy belated birthday. Let me say that.
Thank you.
It's not easy. Let me get a handshake for that.
Thank you.
I want to grow old too.
And I appreciate you coming.
All right.
Thank you very much.
So much.
All right.
And do enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you very much.